So here we are in Faron Woods for the second time, and now it's actually covered in this purple fog, I guess, and it just covers the entire thing, and if you touch it you will fall asleep. So then you'll have to start the area all over again, and you'll see that on your map there are two insects directly on your left. So attack them. These ones will actually, you want to bump into the wall and knock them down. These guys will actually fly around, and you want to watch out because they attack quite often. After they kind of zip at you all electric-like, it takes them a little bit to charge back up again, so they'll just kind of fly around. Especially after they attack, then they kind of go low to the ground for a moment, so it gives you a good opportunity to attack them and get their light. Once you've defeated both of them, collect both the tears of light that they drop, and then you want to head over to the left side. We can't actually go through the fog this time around, but you'll see there's a little ledge here, and it's kind of hinting at you being able to use Midna's jumps there. If you want to head around here, you'll see there's another ledge here with some very obvious little platforms, so use them to get across to the other side. Once in here, you can use your senses. You'll see that there are insects on your map. There are actually 3 insects that are invisible here. Once again, be careful that, especially the flying ones, will attack often. If you have trouble trying to chase after these guys because they kind of go around in circles, you can just use Midna's charge attack to hit them all at once. In fact, that might even be faster. You just want to continue working your way onward. There's some more places where you have to use some Midna jumps, and up ahead there are some Dekababas, actually. If you want to when you go through the Dekababa areas, you need to be very quickly, like right here, for example, you need to use the jumps very quickly, otherwise the Babas will bite you and knock you off into the fog. Up here you want to avoid the log, obviously. You don't really want to get hit by it. And then just go to this final area and just do it quickly to avoid getting hit by the keys. Once you pop up all the way down here, you'll see there are 2 more insects. This time they're actually burrowed underground. So you want to use your senses to see them, and then you want to dig up right where they're at. If you're not careful, they will smack you with their charge attack, so be careful not to get hit by that. These guys are actually kind of a pain to go after because they kind of run around in circles very quickly, and so you might want to, if you're just Z-targeting, it might be hard. You might actually have better luck not Z-targeting it and just wiggling your Wiimote back and forth to bite forward like this. Or what you can do is just use a charge attack and just try and wait until they come back kind of near you, and then you can just smack them. So anyways, just headed to the next area. This will lead us to North Faron Woods. As soon as you enter here, then some barriers of Twilight will surround the area, so you'll be trapped in here with 3 more shadow beings. And they should be pretty easy for you to defeat. There's one off by itself, so you should kill that one first just to get out of the way. Once you've defeated it, then go ahead and head over to the other ones and use Midna's charge attack to take them both out at once. I think you can technically do this by using spin attacks, but Link's range with a spin attack as a wolf is not very far, so it's a little more awkward to try and defeat them that way. Once they're all 3 defeated, then the portal that is above the area will turn blue. This means that it's now under your control, and later on you can use it in order to warp around. Now you want to head on forward, and there's actually a small chest off to the side behind this Twilight Baba, and I actually got it earlier. If you did not get it, you can get it now. I believe it contains a yellow rupee, which is worth 10. Head onward and to the entrance of the Forest Temple, and there are 2 more of those insects here. But there's also the monkey from earlier, and it's here, and you can now, now that you're a wolf, you can actually listen to what it says. In any case, you want to kill both of the insects, and then the monkey will then be surprised that the insects suddenly were defeated, so it will look around, and it also makes an interesting comment. It says that the boss has gone funny in the head, and ever since then there's been monsters everywhere, so this kind of shows that this is one of the areas we'll be going to here relatively soon. Once she is done talking, you want to head over and grab the final tier of light. This will fill up the vessel of light completely, and you'll be warped back to the Faron Spring. So now we are back at the spring. The vessel of light has been filled with all the tears of light. So we will toss it back into the spring. This will cause Twilight to be lifted from the Faron province. So all the black specks will disappear. Now it is daylight once again. So Midna will then make another appearance. Once again, she's in her shadow form, and I think that's because she can't really exist in the world of light in her current form right now. But she goes on to say, what's so great about the world of light? She'd rather prefer it to be Twilight anyway. So with that, she'll giggle at you and disappear. And we'll see her again in a moment. Now the spring will then start glowing and shimmering with this golden bright light, and depending on how bright you have your brightness and contrast set on your TV or your computer monitor, the scene could be quite hard to see, and it could just appear as like a white blob. In any case, the spirit of light, Faron, it will then appear, and he is like a big monkey thing, and he says that he introduces himself as Faron, and he says that he's the protector of the forest, one of the 4 spirits of light. So I guess because he's a protector of the forest, maybe he protects the monkeys that live in the forest, so that would explain why he has like a monkey-like appearance. I think he looks kind of odd. He's got like a funny-looking face, it's got like a beard, it's got like a pointed tail, it's got claws on it or something. But he goes on to say that the people that enter the Twilight Realm turn into spirits. However, Link does not. He turns into the quote-unquote blue-eyed beast. He says this is a sign that the powers of the Chosen One rest within you. So he goes on to say for Link to look at his awakened form. So the screen will pan out, and you'll see Link for the first time. Once again, he has returned to his Hylian form. So now he's no longer stuck being a wolf. And he mentions that Link is now wearing a green tunic, and this is the appearance of the legendary hero who has been in previous Zelda titles. And it's not specifically said which Link he's referring to, this hero that is from a previous Zelda title, but there's so many connections to the game Ocarina of Time that it's presumed that that is the hero that he's referring to, which would make sense timeline-wise as far as the game Ocarina of Time takes place before Twilight Princess does, so that makes logical sense. Faron goes on to talk about the dark power that is hidden within the forest temple that is also in the woods. He says it's a forbidden power that should never be touched by those who dwell in the light because of its nature. So he goes on to say that you're going to have to match the power of the King of Shadows, who is Zant, who is the one that Zelda was telling us about that made her surrender all of Hyrule, So we're going to have to match his power, and so Faron says, well, go ahead and go enter the forest temple. We don't really have a choice. So with that, Link will then look down at his hands and such and see, I guess he's just taking a look at himself, realizing that he's once again in his Hylian form, or maybe he's just realizing that he has this power. So once you somewhat gain control of your hero again, Midna will talk to you, and she kind of just summarizes everything that we just saw in that movie. And I guess this is just in case people skip over the movie, and so that this way they have some kind of point of reference as to what to do next, which is useful. I think it's a good idea. Midna will say, that you turned into a wolf as opposed to turning into a spirit like everybody else. And this is because you are the chosen hero, as Faron just revealed. She goes on to say that we have to go grab the dark power that is locked away in the forest temple, and because you're going to be heading there anyways, she's going to tag along. She doesn't really say why, but we will learn more about that later. So now we have finally gained control of Link again, and we can head straight to the forest temple. However, there is something cool we can next grab. We have this cool item we can go get. So first, we're going to go need some rupees. So join me for the next video, and we will gather some rupees in Ordon Village.